Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Chris Maloney back with you for another edition of the Throwdown with Chris Maloney, episode number 7, taking place live tonight, Monday, October the 23rd, 2023, coming to you live from London, Ontario, Canada. It's been a nice day today, outside anyways, and it's supposed to be nice all week. And I checked the forecast for Halloween, so next Tuesday, and dropping down to 7 degrees Celsius. I'm going to say Celsius because if we got American watchers, they'll be like, 7 degrees, that is cold. But guys, thank you very much for tuning in once again. As you can see, rocking the Patriots hat once again. My Pats are 2-5. And it's like I said, with regards to fantasy football and my Patriots, they seem to run hand in hand. That being said, they defeated the Bills yesterday, 29-25. Next Sunday, they're 1 p.m. against the Dolphins at Miami. And then fantasy football, like I said, the Pats are 2-5 after tonight. So Monday Night Football, I've got I think rosters or guys playing in both of my fantasy leagues tonight, but I should be 2-5 after tonight for ESPN, as well as on the NFL as well. I should be 2-5. So fingers crossed. It's I lose a bunch and then all of a sudden I'm going to skyrocket to the championship. That is my goal. With that being said, though, fantasy hockey, I am 2-0 right now. So doing better in hockey. Well, I've got the same wins in hockey that I do with regards to fantasy football. So we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, Halloween, 8 days away. It's supposed to be cold here in London and high of 7, and that's not even counting if there's any kind of precipitation. I remember being out with my daughters one year and it was windy and wet and rainy. And I had an umbrella. The umbrella decided to flip over, do the inside out thing. And I was, it's pointless, but they were having fun. So that was all that mattered there. Guys, thank you very much. If you're watching, listening live, thank you. As far as listenership goes, thank you very much. CWM Predicts, I did a show this past Saturday, 2 days ago, Bound for Glory, almost 100 views on YouTube. Very good, very pleased, excited about that. Thank you very much. And I want to admit I made a mistake. So I think I went 5-3 or 6-2 as far as predictions went, but I made a mistake. So I got kind of ahead of myself when I was talking about the Call Your Shot gauntlet match. I messed up the description completely. I was thinking to myself when I got off the air, I was like, man, if you've got 20 people battling, wrestling style, submission or pinfall, whatever the case may be, that is a long ass match right there. So the official description should have been competitors every 60 seconds enter the ring up until the 20th competitor gets down there. So that was Dirty Dango. And then the match must have ended by pinfall or submission with the final 2 competitors. So completely messed up the description on that. It wouldn't have changed who I picked. I still would have picked Mustafa Ali, but anyways, I'll get more into that during the show. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for the viewership on YouTube. Haven't checked Facebook or Twitch yet, but thank you very much for the 85 views so far on YouTube for Predicts 2 days ago. So absolutely phenomenal. Thank you. Anniversary's birthday is coming up. One and only ELP El Phantasmo, BC boy, 37 years old on October 24th. Tomorrow, we got Robert Kurgan Mallet. I want to say I pronounce his last name right, but it's Kurgan, obviously. 54 years old on October 26th. The one and only Iron Mike Sharp, born October 28th, 1951. Passed away on January 17th, 2016 at the age of 64 years old in Hamilton. He was billed as Canada's greatest athlete. Not Gene Kiniski, but the one and only Iron Mike Sharp. But man, I'll never forget when I moved up to Ontario for the first time, 1988, and they had CHCH. And I think it was every Saturday night at 7:00 p.m. they'd show the old Maple Leaf Gardens matches. And you knew they were the Maple Leaf Gardens matches because they had that big old ramp that went to the ring. And they usually started off with kind of like, the tire kicker, so to speak, the guys like the Iron Mike Sharps. So, anyways, I remember seeing him. I think '88 might have been Superstars of Wrestling as well. But yeah, Iron Mike Sharp, man, he just, you could hear him all the time, and he had that Bob Orton cast, so to speak. So it's just anyways, 64 years old still. It's sad, it's still a young age, but yeah, he was one of a kind, I tell you that. Birthday as well, Jean Pascal, 41 years old on October 28th. I thought he was retired, but I looked up, and I think he competed back in February or March. He lost his last bout, but he's a boxing legend here in Canada, former WBA light heavyweight champion. And then finally, birthday, and it was weird, kind of putting this on the website, so you can see the birthdays and stuff like that on cwnonline.ca. But for the first time ever, it was Adam Copeland. It wasn't Edge, But he turns the big 50 on October 30th. So yeah, a week from today, Adam Copeland, Edge, Rated R Superstar, whatever you want to call him, 50 years old on October the 30th. So yeah, it's I'll be there in a couple of years. I feel it most days, but I don't know. Anyways, it is what it is. Tidbits. So speaking of Edge, Adam Copeland, Talk is Jericho, Adam Copeland. Walking the Razor's Edge with AEW. That came out on the 11th. I didn't know about it, but I saw a picture, I think, on Instagram of Jericho and Copeland. So, guys, check out that interview. Jericho's always good at on the mic, of course. But that came out on the 11th. You go to webisjericho.com. You easily find that, or any kind of podcast platforms there. Triple H appoints Nick Aldis new general manager at SmackDown. The reason I brought this up, obviously, is old news, but this was on the 13th. KO got traded to SmackDown. And when I watched Raw, I think it was last week, and Sami Zayn was PO'd because of the fact he came to the realization that if it wasn't for Jey Uso and Cody bringing Jey Uso over to Raw, he wouldn't have lost his best friend. He wouldn't have lost Kevin Owens over there to SmackDown. So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, especially with Survivor Series next month. But I thought that was interesting. It was cool to hear about all this, being part of the WB. And Mickie James, I put on predicts that I thought she was going to lose her match against Trinity, because I think she's headed there as well. But we'll wait and see, because there's other news I want to get to in a little bit. Stanford's giant WB championship belt sculpture awing passers-by. That was on the 16th. You can find that on cwnonline.ca. It's kind of cool. They get a big old championship belt that they're creating, made out of concrete, and that's outside of the new headquarters there in Stanford. So guys, check it out. The pictures look pretty cool. I mean, if I was down there in Stanford, I'd definitely do like a selfie in front of it. But yeah, cwnonline.ca, you can be able to find that. Natalya, so underrated, Hart family legacy, WB longevity, Bret Hart, the Dungeon, Tyson Kidd, and more. That was on the 17th. That is Chris Van Vliet on YouTube. So guys, check out that interview there. Haven't got a chance to listen to it yet, but it's on that list. NWA reportedly signs 2 TV deals with the CW. This is on the 18th. It was released. I haven't seen anything officially yet by the NWA, but it looks like NWA Power is going to the CW as well. It's going to be a reality-based show as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if that happens. I can't imagine the news not being real, because it was WrestlingObserver.com, which I'll get more into later on as well, later on in the show. But yeah, anyways, it looks like NWA is going to be, I mean, they'll still be doing the social media stuff, but I can see at least they're going to be on national television. So it's kind of cool that way. Update on The Rock's status for WWE WrestleMania 40. This came out on the 20th. So I thought this was interesting, just the way the wording was. And it says Dave Meltzer provides the latest on The Rock's status for WrestleMania. Goes on to say the latest Wrestling Observer newsletter. Dave Meltzer provided the latest update on Dwayne The Rock Johnson's status for WrestleMania 40. This September, Johnson told the Pat McAfee show that him facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39 was locked in at one point. Goes on to say that basically, and this is according to Sports Illustrated, the decision about WrestleMania will not be up to The Rocks to make, nor is the main event even a topic of substance. There are currently no plans for this to happen. Meltzer then confirmed that after Johnson turned at WrestleMania 39, no one is going with the idea that he'll do WrestleMania 40. So 39 out there in Los Angeles. And fact is, if he was going to do WrestleMania, especially against his cousin, why not there in Hollywood? You know what I mean? And it didn't happen. So who's to say Philadelphia, what's going to bring him to the table unless the actor strike is still a thing? You know what I mean? We are privileged to be able to have seen The Rock not too long ago on WB SmackDown. Privileged to see John Cena on TV again. But the fact is, they've got bigger priorities at this point, and completely understand with regards to, the statements being made with regards to The Rock and WrestleMania at this point. Not just the fifth guy, Yuya Uemura interviewed. This is courtesy of New Japan's official website. So I gotta slow down. NJPW1972.com. So yeah, Uemura is officially back there in Japan. It was unique watching him lose, get the briefcase obviously, but lose and make it his exit, so to speak, of Impact Wrestling. But he's a good young kid. He could be back. We'll have to wait and see. Impact Wrestling is it will be talked about a lot this show. I tell you that much there. WB legend The Undertaker launching 6 Feet Under Patreon. So Undertaker's coming out with a podcast that came out on the 21st. Cold on the Street Rosenberg. This was today, the 23rd. And it's unique because I'm so used to doing the show Thursday, Fridays, and I'm doing it on Monday. And I'll explain a little bit more towards the end of the show why the concept of the Monday is coming about. But anyways, yeah, it's Mondays mean BTE, Monday Night Raw, and obviously the MMA hour. And it's interesting. The reason I brought this up because there's been no new full episodes this week or last week of BTE. So I don't know if they're taking a break. I don't know if it's hiatus. I don't know if it's the end of BTE as we knew it. But, we'll have to wait and see. Something I'm passionate about, obviously, gaming. WWE 2K23, 26 new and updated superstars, new models, attire updates, legends, and creations. This is courtesy of Smack Talks on YouTube. So some of the names that you can put into your roster, the New Age Outlaws, the Acolytes. Yes, the Acolytes. Thea Hale, Kiana James, Lexus King. Yes, Lexus King, who's going to make his debut tomorrow night. William Regal, and more. So yeah, guys, if you're a fan of gaming, I think it's all platforms. So if you go on to CWN's YouTube, and you can find it there under the gaming section there. And they give you the codes to what to look for to be able to download these guys there. Gunther reaches 500 days as Intercontinental Champion. I grew up in the days of the Honky Tonk Man, the Ultimate Warrior, those guys there. So that's phenomenal in 2023 to see him be champion that long. ROH Final Battle 2023 to be exclusive Honor Club streaming special. This was cool. So this was released just the past week with regards to Final Battle. The actual date, I think, is December the 15th. But if you're a member of Honor Club, you don't have to pay any extra. All you got to do is be a member of Honor Club, and you're going to be able to watch Final Battle 2023 exclusively on Honor Club. So that's pretty cool there. That came out today as far as the announcement went. Will Ospreay open a signing with WB, relocating to the United States? That would be interesting. It's so... Kenny Omega was one of those guys I never thought we'd see here, excuse me, here in North America. We do. Will Ospreay is another one of those guys I never thought we'd see here in North America. And he wrestled this past weekend. And the fact is, I think because of that, it's guys like Gunther, Walter, we're never supposed to be full-time wrestlers here in America, and it's interesting because when Will Ospreay's contract is up and it's February of next year, so February 2024, and it sounds like a ways away, but guys, it's only like 2-3 months. Fact is, it's going to be interesting to see. And it's with him, I don't think it's a money thing. It's just he's passionate about wrestling. Can he be the aerial assassin? Can he be the Commonwealth Kingpin? That's what's going to matter the most. And the fact is, if they don't have to change his gimmick, if he doesn't have to, be a Lexus King, so to speak, which I don't necessarily agree with, but we'll have to wait and see. I think Ospreay is going to be open to signing pretty much anywhere. So whether it's the WWE, Impact Wrestling, AEW, I don't know. It's I know I saw that dream match this past June, so it's him and Omega was phenomenal. I'll get more to that in a minute as well. And the report: CM Punk was backstage Impact TV taping in Chicago. Think about this: Will Ospreay, CM Punk at Impact Wrestling. That's absolutely insane when you actually think about it. But that's and it was unique too because there was a photo of him online. I think it was Instagram with regards to he was in the crowd at Chicago Blackhawks home opener, waving, at the camera, so to speak, and then TV tapings the very next day. And Mercedes Moné has been backstage, there as well. And it's interesting time, 2023 for professional wrestling. I'll tell you that much. So guys, that was it for tidbits, topics. What can you say? It's been 2 days since I did predicts, and the show was great. I'm talking about Bound for Glory 2023, by the way. But if you had, I'll get to it in a minute. I'm super excited and stoked. But Bound for Glory results 2023 obviously took place Cicero Stadium in Chicago. Tracy Brooks, Mike Tenay, and Don West got inducted into the Impact Hall of Fame. That was available for free online, 7:30 p.m. It took place on the Countdown show. So guys, check that out. Impact has released the induction separately. So if you just want to watch Mike Tenay, Don West, or you want to watch Tracy Brooks, but both speeches with regards to Mike Tenay as well as Tracy Brooks are absolutely phenomenal. And it brought you back to the days of a certain three initials, which I'll get to in a minute there. Chris Sabin retained against Kenta. PCO defeated Macklin Moose as well as Rhino in the Monsters Ball match. PCO's contract is up at the end of the month, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Maybe that was his swan song. Maybe that was, thank you very much. We're going to put you over in this match. He is the monster, though. ABC defeated the Rascals to become new champions. I was either way on that. Fans of both, but like I said on the Predict show, if ABC hadn't won the titles, I'd like to see singles runs for Austin as well as Bay, but they did. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Rascals. I'll get to them in a moment as well. Where are we here? Oh, Ospreay defeats Bailey and what could be match of the year candidate there, guys. Bailey, Bailey's tooting his own horn. He thinks it is, but you got two of those guys in the ring, and man, it was phenomenal, and it was a house of fire. I tell you that much there. Jordan Grace defeats Bully Ray in the finals. So the final two, the Call Your Shot gauntlet match, also featured the Juice, Juventud Guerrera, Sonny Kiss, Matt Cardona. That's insane. And Sonny Kiss being there, it was cool because he, she had actually done a spot with regards to the What's Up with Bully Ray. I forget. I think it was Cardona that was on the ground, but not 100% sure. But anyways, it was a good match, and lots of bells and whistles, so to speak. But yeah, I almost said Juventud Guerrera. Once again, but Jordan Grace, with the win there, so she can pick and choose her championship opportunity anytime, any place, anytime she wants to. So Trinity defeats Mickey James, and then Alex Shelley, I called it, but in a shocker, defeats Josh Alexander, for a clean win. They shake hands, they show respect to each other after the match, and then this happens, and I wish I had the ability to throw videos up, like cue it and boom, video hits, and I get kicked off of YouTube in a heartbeat. But video package aired. It was 4 minutes in length. And then Scott D'Amore announces we're back. And I tell you this, I got goosebumps. Okay. When I'm watching this video, I got goosebumps. And then when they do the very end, Josh Alexander gets down there at 1D. You see that logo on that box, and guys, I'm talking about, yes, TNA Wrestling, it's back, and it's I've got goosebumps talking about it right now. I've been a fan for that long of TNA Wrestling, obviously into Impact Wrestling. Wasn't a big fan of the Asylum years, so to speak, but when I started hearing about guys like Samoa Joe and Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, those guys there, that was what made me become a fan, and I started looking for footage as much as I possibly could online. And I started watching the episodes, and I think I still got them burned on a CD. Yes, I got them burned on a CD. Guys, that's when you actually had to take a CD, put it into a player, and hit play. You couldn't just go on like a Netflix or whatever the case may be. But anyways, yes, I was a fan back then, and ironically enough, and those listening on audio have no idea what I'm doing, but a couple weeks ago, that right there, Best of the X Division. I think this is volume 2. Look at that logo on the bottom, TNA Wrestling. And I had done this just recently. And then you get this. One of the only copies I know that exists. But that's the Impact Wrestling video game there I'm showing on screen. And when I was holding those up not too long ago, I was thinking to myself, man, I think it was talking about the Impact 1000. I was like, and I showed the video DVD board game I had as well. And I was thinking to myself, nostalgia, right? Did I ever think it was going to come back? Did I ever think they were going to make that announcement that they did 2 nights ago? Man, no, I wouldn't have placed a wager on that at all. But them all standing in the ring together, and that video, like I said, just got goosebumps. And it's when the box opens and they're all kind of staring up into the sky, and they just do these thousands and thousands of clips. Seemingly, it's just like, man, it's absolutely insane. But yes, TNA Wrestling. I'll get to the official. The official release by Impact Wrestling. See, it's so weird. ImpactWrestling.com. Knowing that TNA is coming back, but TNA returns on January 13, 2024 at the at the Hard to Kill pay-per-view from the Palms Casino Resort, Las Vegas, Nevada. And they're going to say Anthem Global Multi-Platform Media Company announced today that professional wrestling company Impact Wrestling is returning to its iconic total nonstop action TNA wrestling name at Hard to Kill. Its first pay-per-view of 2024, which will originate for the first time from Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada. Again, the announcement was made at the end of Bound for Glory this past Saturday. D'Amore goes on to say, we still hear the TNA chant wherever we go, said Impact Wrestling president Scott D'Amore. Fans have longed for TNA wrestling, so that's what we're bringing back in 2024. TNA wrestling, we're back. So yeah, tickets go on sale Friday, November 4th. So that is next Friday, I believe. I think so. Anyways, so next Friday, tickets go on sale for TNA wrestling. But man, 2024. And I'll get to a little bit of news in a minute, or a couple minutes anyways. But it's man, it's absolutely insane. It's Impact Wrestling going back to TNA wrestling. I'm excited. Obviously, you can tell. From there, Emanuel behind recent change in WWE creative. So this came out on the 16th. So it's been a little bit since I did my podcast here. But anyway, he's basically put Vince McMahon kind of in his place and said, hey, you are not part of the creative process the way that Triple H needs to have it happen. So basically, Triple H should be the one in charge making those decisions. And me as a wrestling fan, when I hear about these scripts being ripped up, or, all of a sudden there's a show put together and McMahon has basically said no about 20, 25 times. I was like, man, that is crap. These guys are trying to work hard. Guys are quitting. Guys are being fired. People are crying, whatever the case may be. You hear about the backstage environment just not being healthy. And all of a sudden you've heard nothing of that sort with regards to Triple H. The way that NXT is running right now, the way that both brands, Raw and SmackDown, are running right now. They say it on a podcast I listen to all the time, and they basically say, year over year now, basically they're selling out arenas. They're selling merch like crazy. They've got social media accounts, everything else that are just absolutely huge. So they're going the right direction. And then Vince still tried to have his hand in the cookie jar, so to speak. So good for Emanuel. So when you saw them and they were talking about TKO and merging UFC and WWE, and you saw them and there was a interview, I forget who it was with, but it's on cwbnonline.ca, and all of a sudden you see Vince sitting right next to Ari, and all of a sudden Ari is like, if it's a wrestling thing that's taking place and we don't agree on it, it's not gonna happen. And and now several months later, and all of a sudden McMahon's been potentially kicked to the curb at this point. And I think it's healthier for wrestling because you can tell as well. You can tell when you watch a Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, when you superstars that you're seeing on TV, and all of a sudden these guys are being put over, whatever the case may be. Last week we had Gunther versus friggin' Bronson Reed. I mean, that's absolutely insane. So anyways, that stuff would not be happening if Vince McMahon was still in charge. Ricochet wouldn't be getting the push that he's getting if Vince McMahon was still in charge. Would we see Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio? I don't know, but the fact is it's going to happen, and good for them, and good for Emanuel, putting his foot down, so to speak. So yeah, I'm proud to be a WWE fan at this point. 2023 PWI Women's 250. This came out on the 18th. So the evaluation period, I never knew this before, is between July 1st, 2022 to July 1st, 2023. I'll give you guys the top 10 and I'll run down the women in Canada, or, basically women who are a part of Canadian independent wrestling. And I'll talk about them in a minute here. But top 10. So Rhea Ripley's number 1, Julia's number 2, Bianca Belair's number 3, Jamie Hayter's number 4, Tam Nakano is number 5, Athena's number 6, Deonna Purrazzo number 7, Willow Nightingale number 8, number 9's Camille, and then number 10 is Jordan Grace. So then we talk about the Canadians here, and we've got, where are we here? Number 26 was Taya Valkyrie, 32 Nicole Matthews, 49 was Jody Threat, 63 Giselle Shaw, 67 Zoe Sager, 99 Taylor Wilde, 101 Natalia, 106 Alexia Nicole, 129 Dream Girl Ellie, 130 Nikita, 150 Chelsea Green, 153, I love this name, Taryn from Accounting, 169 Riley Rose, 171 Lufisto, 203 is Taylor Rising, 217 Vanessa Craven, and 237 Casey Spinelli. So at least three of those names in the CPWHOF, by the way. So yeah, congrats to them. Congrats on the rankings. Congrats on making the list. And obviously it's up for debate, but yeah, it is something everybody looks forward to every single year. So yeah, congrats to them. Massive announcement took place last Wednesday. The Icon Sting addressed his future. That was on AEW Dynamite. What a week. Darby Allin's apparently got a broken or fractured shoulder, and Sting announces his upcoming retirement to take place at Revolution next year, which I think is April of 2024. So that'll be it for Sting. It's not one of those things that, hey, I'm going to retire and come back. Apparently, this is it for him. It'd be interesting to see what storyline he's in. It'd be interesting. I'd love to see him in a World Championship match, that final one, like Trish Stratus had done in Toronto against Lita. And, obviously, the sharpshooter and Lita tapped out. And I thought that would be the last we saw of Trish Stratus in a wrestling ring. It wasn't Terry Funk style, But I think this is it for Sting. So, Revolution 2024, April of next year. That should be it. And I should mention here as well, 129 Dream Girl Ellie. She is not from Canada, but she is the current Smash Wrestling champion, sweetheart of a girl, very tiny as far as stature goes. I remember walking by her and be like, man, she, when you like right up close, and she's so tiny, but man, so talented as well. Did the massive announcement with regards to Sting. AEW Battle of the Belts 8 took place this past Saturday as well. Cassidy defeated Silver. Samoa Joe defeated Tony Nese. Statlander defeated Will Nightingale. The Acclaimed and Daddy Ass. You realize it's a podcast and it's about wrestling when you say the words Daddy Ass. Defeat Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, and Daniel Garcia to retain. Garcia messed up. He danced. He got famous, sir. I think it was what they call it still. And then this was an interesting note that I read just on a Facebook post. Defending champions are 23-1 on AEW Battle of the Belts special. The only one to lose was Scorpio Sky, and he lost to Sammy Guevara. That would have been the TNT Championship on Battle of the Belts 2. So, man, 23-1. So if you're on Battle of the Belts, yeah, you get exposure on TV. But likelihood, 99%, you're not winning. UFC 294. Makhachev versus Volkanovski 2 took place on Saturday as well. Islam Makhachev, champion, defeated Alexander Volkanovski by KO, head kicks and punches. 306 in round 1 to retain the UFC lightweight championship. And then I'll eventually get his name right. Khamzat Chimaev, I think it's Chimaev, defeated Kamaru Usman by unanimous decision after 3 rounds, and that was in the UFC middleweight division there. So I'm not too bad when I slow down, but man, it's saying these names constantly. It's I'll get used to it. Big thing here as well. So I'll tell you this. So I grew up, obviously pro wrestling fan, huge pro wrestling fan, but my dad was really, really, really into boxing. So 9 times out of 10, if he was watching, I think ABC Sports or whatever the case may be, he'd be watching boxing, and I remember going to amateur fights with him and, watching it on TV with him and being interested in pro boxing with him as well. It's sad state in 2023 with regards to boxing. You have the celebrity boxing taking place. And when I say that, you have like the guys like the Logan Pauls taking on Davis, and it's not true boxing anymore. You know what I mean? It's not like the days of Holyfield and Mike Tyson, as well as, Hagler or Sugar Ray Leonard, or, that sort of stuff there. But this came out on the 17th. Showtime dropping MMA and boxing in 2024. Showtime Sports will shutter its boxing mixed martial arts coverage in 2024, ending a significant era in combat sports. Kevin, I want to say Ioli of Yahoo Sports reported on Tuesday that an email was distributed by Paramount President, CEO Chris McCarthy, stating the pivot being made by the media giant towards more scripted programming in an attempt to drive subscribers towards Paramount Plus. And the MMA Junkie posted the full memos. We continue to dedicate a larger percentage of our resources towards premium scripted series that drives subscribers for us in both pay TV and SVOD. Showtime will not be moving forward with boxing and other content produced by Showtime Sports and Events programming team. It's sad because if you go to cwnonline.ca, you'll see MMA content, you'll see pro wrestling content. It's one of those things. I know it's like an 80, probably a 15 split there. That final 5% is pro boxing. I've tried to remove it from the website just because of lack of content, and because it's a one-man show. I try to put out as much as I possibly can, but the moment I go and remove it, it's like I miss it. And it's because, my dad, I grew up with it because of my dad. So I'd love to see it turn the other way. I'd love to see pro boxing be a thing again. But when you think popularity wise, you think MMA, UFC merging with WBs, for example, AEW doing what they're doing. And then all of a sudden you've got Invicta, the female organization as far as MMA being owned by Anthem, who owns Impact Wrestling. So it's where's pro boxing being talked about other than the celebrity stuff? And the like I said, the Logan Paul fight was sponsored by Prime, so it's sad, to see MMA and boxing being dropped by Showtime. And I don't know if we're ever going to see, that's think about it this way. So when they had, remember Buster Douglas, there's an old name for people, him being involved in wrestling back in the day, or Holyfield or Tyson, whatever the case may be, it's because they were larger than life superstars as well. And I don't think they have that nowadays. I mean, they got guys like Tyson Fury in this and that, but how much is he actually talked about? How many times can you be a wrestling fan, talk to another wrestling fan, and talk about Tyson Fury's boxing career, so to speak, and who's gonna know what they're talking about? So it's sad. I'm a little bit disgruntled about that one, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. It's not happening until next year, but I don't know if pro boxing is going to make a comeback. I tell you that. Super Junior Tag League update, night 1 standings. So that takes place on the 21st. Night 2, Korakuen Hall, Tokyo, Japan, tomorrow morning. So I'll just do this quickly here. So I'm just going to bring up the current standings here. Where are we? I'm doing better with my organization skills, I tell you that. So Kushida, Kevin Knight, 2 points. We've got El Desperado, Master Wato, 2 points. We've got Bushi and Titan, 2 points. TJP and Francisco Akira, 2 points as well. And then Clark Connors and I love this name, Drilla Maloney, Moloney. But good enough for me. So Drilla Maloney, 2 points as well. So yeah, and like I said, tomorrow morning will be number 2 with regards to night 2 with regards to the tag league there. This I kind of I marked out for here in TNA wrestling. I'm not afraid to say I mark out, but I marked out for this one as well. I was like, did I just read that right? And I shook my head and I'm like, how many drinks have I had? And then all of a sudden I read it again. It's like the law of live audio wrestling has come back full circle. I was like, are you effing kidding me? So this was on the 15th, courtesy of Facebook, courtesy of SNME. So Sunday night's main event. And what it read was Randy Charpentier, I want to say Charpentier, I want to say I pronounced that right, on SNME Radio on Facebook. It's been a while. I know you remember the name. The Law. Live audio wrestling has come back full circle. Chris Tidwell, yes, the original host, and Brady Wetham take the helm, which is fitting for Chris Tidwell is the original host and creator of the brand. As executive producer, I take pride in knowing the paperwork was signed weeks ago and seeing it come to fruition. Yeah, that's a hard word to pronounce. Fruition. Forget about it. Makes me extremely happy. So join Chris and Brady tonight, 8 p.m. for the relaunch of on all podcasting providers. So again, that was the 15th. That was last Sunday. Congrats to them. It's interesting because you see post wrestling, obviously. And, obviously John and Wei and everything great that they've done with post wrestling. But it's, to me, hardcore fan, it's always going to be about the law. And it's always going to be about the law because it was staying awake while I was working on one of my original websites way back in the day, just to be able to hear the show. I had work the next morning, but it was important to me. And then Meltzer would come on at midnight. And it was, it's just, that's kind of full circle too. I'll get to that in a moment. But guys, it's TNA wrestling and the Law live audio wrestling being back in 2023/2024. Holy crap, guys. Monday Night Raw tonight taking place in about half an hour. Jey Uso taking on Damian Priest. Becky Lynch defending against Indy Hartwell. McIntyre and Sami Zayn. Logan Paul is going to be there to cut a promo. Judgment Day promo as well. New Day taking on Alpha Academy. NXT Halloween Havoc taking place tomorrow night, week 1. Gigi Dolan taking on Blair Davenport in a lights outs match. We got Roxanne Perez, Kiana James, Devil's Playground match. The Family taking on Chase U with the titles on the line. And the debut of former Brian Pillman Jr., Lexis King. So it's still getting used to saying that name. Upcoming PLE pay-per-view special events taking place. New Japan Pro Wrestling Fighting Spirit Unleashed 2023 taking place on the 28th. Main event looks like it's Tama Tonga taking on Shingo for the Openweight Championship. Eddie Kingston defends the strong Openweight Championship against Hanare. And then Julia and Hyen take a face-off for the IWGP Women's Championship. Other matches, check out NJPW1972.com, and that is going to be available on Fight. NWA Sam Hain 2023 taking place on the 28th as well. Also available on Fight, and main event for that one, EC3 taking on Tom Latimer for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. Impact Wrestling, their next one is Turning Point. It's a little bit of a weird one, though, because the fact is it's going to be pre-recorded. So it's going to show up Impact Plus as well as YouTube. That is on the 3rd of November, but it's being taped on October the 27th in Newcastle, England. And main event there, well, it looks like I got most. Well, what do I have here? Oh, no, two big matches, sorry. Will Ospreay taking on Eddie Edwards, and then Trinity defending the championship against Deonna Purrazzo. And like I said, that's being recorded on the 27th, but it's going to air officially on the 3rd. So spoiler is going to be out there, but if you want to see the event as a whole, it'll be it's wait till the 3rd. WB Crown Jewel 2023 taking place on the 4th. Reigns taking on LA Knight for the title. Rollins taking on McIntyre, title on the line. Ripley, Jax, Rodriguez, Baszler, and Stark, championship on the line in that one as well. And then Rey Mysterio and Logan Paul, championship on the line, United States Championship. And basically the contract signing, I think, is coming up this coming Friday. UFC 295 taking place is on the 11th of November, Remembrance Day. John Boney Jones taking on Stipe Miocic. Jones defends the heavyweight title against Miocic at Madison Square Garden in New York, New York. Next one for AEW Full Gear 2023. That is on the 18th of November. MJF Jay White for the title in the main event there. And the WB Survivor Series 2023 taking place November the 25th. And guess where? Chicago, guys. Upcoming Canadian MMA Battle Zone at Burlington Training Center in Burlington, Ontario. 6 p.m. That's BTC 22 on the 18th. And then Fight League Atlantic 12, Moncton Coliseum, Moncton, New Brunswick, 7 o'clock p.m. Atlantic time. That's on the 18th as well. I saw a cool video with regards to Battle Zone, so BTC, that I was thinking about how do I include it in the show, but I didn't want to. I don't know what music they used. I didn't see the music listed in the video. It's on YouTube, so it was a BTC though. I'm gonna probably reach out to them to see if I can use it for promo in between, because the 18th is still a ways away. But one of the names I saw in the video was Jesse the Body Snatcher Ronson. I believe he's a London boy. It'd be pretty cool to have him on a show doing an interview as well. But yeah, the Body Snatcher. I always thought that was a cool name for Jesse Ronson. But yeah, guys, 18th for both of those shows for BTC as well as Fight League Atlantic. Yes, time to get a drink, water that is. But I'm gonna get rid of these graphics here. And as always, I'm going to promote Hammerlock Pro Wrestling because I'm a fan of theirs. I believe in what they're doing, and I need to get more video clips to be able to transition into this, because longer clips means more water into me. So yeah, whether or not that made sense, I don't know. But enjoy the clip here, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Hopefully you enjoyed that video by Hammerlock Pro Pure Wrestling. That is their main video when you watch them on Rogers TV every Friday night, 10 o'clock p.m. after the night's games and after the wrap. So that is according to the schedule there. Their next show, next live event, Saturday, November 4th, 7 o'clock p.m. Job Site Brewing Company in Stratford, Ontario. I will be there. So if you see me, see the handsome host, look for me. I don't necessarily wear the CWN shirts at these shows for Hammerlock. Sometimes I will, but I definitely will if I'm doing like interviews or anything like that. But usually I just hand out my business cards, and that's pretty much the way it is. But yeah, I will be at the show in Stratford. The first show I'll be at the Job Site Brewing Company for Hammerlock, but looking forward to that on November the 4th, which is coming up soon. And we do have a babysitter for the night, so yeah, it's set and go. Upcoming Canadian indie events taking place: LPW times CWS number 8 prequel to LPW 20, 7 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, Edmonton, Alberta. That is on the 26th. IHW Wrestling Over the Top Rumble at 6:30 p.m. Atlantic Time in Riverview, New Brunswick. Love Pro Wrestling 20, Planet Slam It Janet. Good job, Spencer Love. I tell you that for that name, Planet Slam It Janet. It's like Taryn from Accountant, two of the coolest names out there. 7 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, Edmonton, Alberta. That is on the 27th. CWE debuts in Lunder fundraiser for the Lunder Fire Department. It could be Lunder. I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be Lunder. 1 o'clock p.m. Central Time. That's Lunder, Manitoba on the 28th. IHW. Why did I put this down twice? IHW Wrestling Over the Top Rumble at 7 o'clock Atlanta time, Miramichi, New Brunswick. Oh, there's okay, that's why. So they're having 2 Over the Top Rumbles, 1 day apart, but this one's in Miramichi on the 28th. So IWS presents Freedom to Fight 2023, 8 p.m. Montreal, Quebec. That is on 28th as well. Like I said, Hammerlock Pure Wrestling's next show, Jobsite Brewing Company, 7 o'clock p.m. Stratford, Ontario. That is on the 4th. I will be there. And Smash Wrestling Danger High Voltage London Music Hall, 5 p.m. Eastern, London, Ontario, Canada, here on the 19th of November. And I will not be there. If I'm there, I guarantee there's a pending divorce happening pretty much the next day. So yeah, I will not be there. This was nice to see. So Canadian Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame presented by CWN. Just Giver category, Steven Spice. Love the guy. He's a very good kid, very passionate about wrestling. And he's back. So he's back doing his YouTube stuff. So it was on the 18th. SWJ, Steven's Wrestling Journey presents Steve's 3 with Kid Chocolate at Top Tier Wrestling. That was on the 18th. So it looks like he's making a comeback as far as YouTube goes. So competition. Wrestling is Life is Wrestling with Cody Diener. Episode number 14, Jessica Havoc, Part 1. This was released on the 19th, and this is available on platforms everywhere. So guys, check that out. Diener loves doing these conversations, these interviews, so to speak. So it's great. Speaking of Diener, I know I did this last show I was on, but there we go, switching screens again. I'm going to try to do this again. So, but guys, bear with me a sec if you're listening on audio. I'm just switching some screens around here. Let's see how well I can do. This I got to try to get the video of as well, just to make it a little bit easier on me in the show. But I'm going to, where are we here? Let's try this again. And there, and there, and let's go back there. Hey, and let's see if I get, oh, no, wrong button. People are watching on video. I'm like flicking screens around. Is that better? I think that's better. All right, I'm going to play the video for you guys and listen to the audio as well.
I first met Connor at a professional wrestling show when he was a very young boy, and quickly became a fan of his, even though he was a fan of me. I always remember the big smile on his face and how excited he was at every single event. And I always looked forward to seeing Connor at all the shows that I did many years ago. And I knew at that time that Connor had some special needs, but it wasn't until recently that I was able to fully grasp all the needs that Connor actually has. I recently reconnected with Connor and his family, and it was so good to see him again. Connor is now in his 20s. And I learned that Connor is a walking miracle because Connor was not supposed to live past his 18th birthday. Connor has a plethora of medical conditions and medical issues, but he's a walking miracle because he's still standing to this day and still has a big smile on his face. But I've learned that the family has a lot of medical expenses that has to come right out of their own pocket, not expenses that are covered by insurance. So for years, I have decided to give her in the ring. I have also decided to give her for charity. And now what I want to do is, with your help, I want to give her for Connor. And for the next few months, I just want to see how much money we can raise for Connor and his family. And I plan to give whatever money I'm able to raise to the family just before Christmas so that they can have a wonderful holiday season together and take some of the stress, some of that financial stress and burden off their shoulders. So let's do this for Connor. Let's do this for his family. And I just hope that you guys will help me give her for Connor.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show after you're watching that video there. Like I said, with regards to Cody Diener, he's one of those phenomenal human beings, that you're ever going to meet in your life. And he does great things, and he will always continue to do great things, because I think that's just who he is personality wise. And I cannot get my screen back to normal. Anyways, but he's one of those human beings that will do whatever he can to help out and support people that need help, especially when it comes to guys like Connor. GiveSendGo.com/giver for Connor is the link. Of the $2,000 goal that he has right now, $414 has been raised. So if you have the opportunity to give money, $5 or $10, whatever the case may be, please do. If you don't have the ability to give money, share the post, share the website link. Again, GiveSendGo.com/giver for Connor. And when you go and share it, you can share it on, platforms such as the website, social media, whatever the case may be. If you go to cwnonline.ca, you'll see at the very top, it's not there now because of TNA Wrestling that's been up there for the past couple of days, but you'll see it again tomorrow, probably even later tonight. There'll be a link, like a picture link that you can click on and take you directly to that site, as well as all over the media, all over the website. You'll see media attached to there as well. With regards to the Giver for Connor, campaign that Cody is doing. So $414, like I said, raised so far of a goal of 2,000, almost a quarter of the way there. So guys, if you have the opportunity to be able to give, please give. And it's very important with regards to Christmas time and everything else. So again, if you're able to give, please give there. And my screen is still, I'm on StreamYard. And if you see my screen, it is very tiny right now. And I don't want to hit any silly buttons to kick myself off because I'm almost done. But I guess I bear with it. CPWHOF 2024 class. So CPWHOF, what is that? Canadian Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame presented by CWN. 2024 class takes place on Thursday, January 18th. 2024. Voting begins next Wednesday. I can't believe I'm actually saying that. Voting begins next Wednesday, November 1st, 2023, taking place the entire month of November. All you need is a Facebook account. You log into your Facebook. You get to vote that way. You can only vote once, and that's why it's done through Facebook. But categories galore. You'll hear me talking every time I do the throwdown with regards to CPWHOF, especially coming from now until the end of November. December just kind of shuts down, and then January, we're back into to full throttle there. But like I said, it's so weird. Next Wednesday, voting begins. Man, it comes quick, and then it goes quick. But anyways, voting begins next Wednesday for CPWHOF. And you can check out the Canadian Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame presented by CWN, the website cpwhof.ca. And you can find the link also at cwnonline.ca. So the Throwdown, episode number 8. To be determined for a lot of reasons. There's a lot going on in my life right now, and a lot of good things going on and taking place, I should say as well. One of them being, and I think it was Saturday, and it was, I get this message on this thing called Slack, and Slack is a group messaging thing, similar probably to, I don't know, Zoom. I don't know if Zoom has one, whatever the case may be, but and it's, do you want to take over Impact Wrestling full time again? And I got back to them and I said, hey, I will let you know tomorrow if that's cool. And they were like, it's cool. And then yesterday I officially went back and said, hey, I'm on board. I'm game. I will do it. So that being said, WrestlingObserver.com every Thursday night, 8:00 p.m. I believe starting this week. I haven't heard anything otherwise. I will not be doing it January 18th of next year. It's obviously CPWHOF, but it'll either be this Thursday or next Thursday. It'll be Impact Wrestling. Me doing Impact Wrestling recapping for WrestlingObserver.com every single Thursday, as well as the pay-per-views. I'm not sure if I'll be doing with regards to, what is that next one that's coming up? Just too many. Turning Point. So I don't know if I'll be doing Turning Point just because the spoilers will be out there and everything else, but more than likely, yes. But so that being said, Throwdown will not be taking place on Thursdays anymore. Between CPWHOF and the WrestlingObserver.com, I'm a passionate, loyal fan about Impact Wrestling. If you see spoilers posted on CWNonline.ca with regards to Impact Wrestling, I read the first little snippet to be able to put the snippet on cwnonline.ca. I will not read the spoilers. I love being a fan. The only exception was this year is when I was at the event live for the TV taping after Under Siege. And when I was there, I was like, man, I had no choice. And then they want me to recap one week. I was like, oh, this will be the first time I ever, watch it live and then have to recap. But anyways, I love Impact Wrestling. And then with the excitement of Bound for Glory this past weekend and TNA Wrestling coming back in 2024, it's like, holy crap, how do I say no? And I didn't say no. I said yes, but I haven't got confirmation back yet. I was asked and I responded. So as soon as that confirmation hits, yes, every Thursday night, WrestlingObserver.com, my handsome face on the WrestlingObserver.com doing Impact Wrestling and future TNA Wrestling. So excited about that. That I've never done. So that, like I said, episode number 8 to be determined. It will probably go earlier in the week. You'll see. It's been a nice break because I think the last time I did a show was the 12th of October. So 11 days, I think we're in between. It gives me a lot more to talk about, a lot more to kind of filter through what I want to talk about, this and that. But with that being said, it's nice every now and then to do it on Fridays because Friday leads into SmackDown. It's nice to be able to do it on Monday because it go into Monday Night Raw. And I get to talk about other stuff as well, like what happened this past weekend, which was absolutely huge for Impact Wrestling, as well as, Battle of the Belts and then UFC 294 and stuff like that as well. But it's nice with regards to when I was doing CWN Weekly, it was usually about the same time, same day as always. But it's nice to have a little more, flexibility, especially with other news. I've got something going on tomorrow morning. And it could play into something else. And it's like I said, a lot happening right now. Personally, happy about it though. And obviously Christmas coming up as well. So it's an exciting time. And what else we got? Oh, speaking of exciting, 13 Nights of Halloween. Scariest Master Wrestlers number 9 launched earlier tonight on cwnonline.ca. So I'll see if I can remember this correctly. So number 9 tonight was obviously Mortis. Number 10 was Mankind. Number 11 was the Great Muta. Number 12 was number 12. I'm drawing a blank. And then 13. But anyways, guys, you can check out cwnonline.ca every night, 6:00 p.m. For the Scariest Masked Wrestlers. 13 nights of them, all the way going into Halloween. So it's my number 1 and 2. It's still a toss-up. I'm not sure. I know who they are, but I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick. It'll come down to that final. The second last night, so to speak, but I want to do something Halloween based, and it's fun, and it's and then when you're doing the shots, so to speak, the pictures, to upload to the website, it's like, man, some of these guys were scary. If you didn't know they were wrestlers, you'd think they're monsters, like the killers in movies and stuff like that. But it's kind of been cool, and it's not kind of been cool, but it has been cool. And then next month you'll see top 10 WWE Survivor Series moments of all time. So that's going to be fun as well. I'm thinking Gobbledygooker. Gobbledygooker will not make that list. I don't know. We'll see. But guys, that has been it for the show. It's still bothering me. My picture is so small. I'm going to figure this out. So if it ever happens again, I'll know. But yeah, like I said, CWN predicts it'll be a while before I do another one. I don't think I'm doing NWA coming up. Things could change, but I don't think it's gonna happen. And then the rest of the PLE pay-per-views coming up are towards the middle to the end of the month. The only exception being Impact Wrestling. Obviously, I don't think I'm doing New Japan this weekend either. But Impact Wrestling, you can't do it because it's a taped show. So yeah, it'd be a little bit of time before CWN predicts again. But I'm enjoying doing that, and I'm enjoying doing the Throwdown with Chris Maloney as well, episode number 7. So guys, as always, check me out at Chris Maloney CWN with regards to social media. So Reddit, as well as what do we got? Instagram and X and Threads. Yes. And I don't use any of the other stuff really. I've got, I think, one account on TikTok and it's CWN. I still haven't figured out how to use TikTok, so forget about it. But yeah, at Chris Maloney, CWN. And as always, Chris at cwnonline.ca. With regards to any kind of ideas you have for the show, any kind of guests you'd like to see, segments, or if I'm missing announcing your upcoming Canadian independent wrestling event, you can get in touch with me that way as well. It's just, I only will announce the stuff I know about. And if I don't know about it, you're not going to get talked about. So Chris at cwnonline.ca or at Chris Maloney CWN on social media there, guys. And I'm done rambling. So, guys, it's been great for another edition of the Throwdown with Chris Maloney, episode number 8. Look for it; it'll come out. I'm just not sure when yet. I will find. Well, I'll figure it out probably more so after tomorrow, and more so after I get confirmation with regards to Impact Wrestling on the Observer. So, guys, that is it. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Hit the like, subscribe. Watch CWM Predicts a second time, a third time with regards to Bound for Glory. I'm looking to get that 100 view mark, which would be pretty damn cool. But yeah, guys, as always, it's fun. And as always, I will talk to everybody again sometime soon.